Hello everyone and welcome to 4KB Shorts Bargain Bin with Scrumbleship. What is Scrumbleship, you might ask? Well, Scrumbleship, which is available at scrumbleship.com, is an idea created by a gentleman named Dirksen, who you can follow on YouTube, who you should follow on Twitter, and who you should absolutely buy this game from. Now, Scrumbleship is a alpha funded, I gotta get that right, it's an alpha funded game, meaning that the game's progression is dependent on the number of people who buy it. Minecraft was the same way, there's a lot of indie titles that are the same way, and you see me staring off into the Milky Way, and you're probably asking yourself, KB, what is this game about? I see your funny little heads-up display, it looks interesting, I see the word letter A, I see steel block, and some dials, and some things like that, and I don't understand what's going on. Well, now, a lot of you guys have been bugging me to play StarMade, and I keep and I say, thank you for the suggestion, but I find StarMade and Minecraft to be very boring. I in Minecraft, after I survive the first night, I really have nothing left to do. It's like I'm alive and I have food and whatever, and I'm good to go. In StarMade, I just don't. I've seen it played. I haven't played it myself, so in all honesty, I haven't played it myself. But I've seen it being played, and it doesn't really catch my eye. But is the moment I saw Scrumbleship, apart from the name, which is awesome, I said to myself, I have to get this game. I have to get this game. And you may wonder why. Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn around and show you something that I put together just really super quick. I'm not very good at these games, so super quick for me is like a half an hour. But something I put together really super quick. And you guys are going to go, oh, KB, you're teasing us, man. But here it is. Ta-da! And like I said, you're gonna say, "Oh, KB, what the hell? You're teasing us. You're making us think this is a great game, and it's just another Minecraft clone. What? Why should I care?" Well, there's a very specific reason you should care, and the reason you should care is because this is not just a Minecraft clone. Actually, it's not even a Minecraft clone. And by the way, I'm just gonna be messing with things. I'm gonna be playing with stuff, because that's the kind of guy I am. I play with things. By the way, I just took that spacesuit and the gun off the wall. I think I can put them back. Yeah. So I just a heads up display is gone. So yeah, you can put your spacesuit away. Um, so this is let's go ahead and just look at the interior of the ship. Not a lot of this is implemented yet. It doesn't all work. As you notice, I am able to toggle things like lights and things like that. Like I can toggle the color of this light and things like that. But then you have these, which are wire boxes, of course. You have a gun box, you have a suit box, which you just saw. This is a suit refill charger, which refills your energy, your oxygen, your EVA, things like that. An airlock, of course. These are, I think I already mentioned, these are lights, but they don't really work right now. Like I said, some of the stuff isn't implemented, some of it's just got placeholders. Alpha build, remember guys, alpha build. Everything started this way. Even Minecraft at one time was just a pickaxe, a sword, a shovel, and some blocks. You have these consoles, so you have a materials console. This is for building, which I'm sure will be implemented later. A missile console for firing missiles, an engineering console or engine console for engineering, like driving. You can put engines on your ship. Then you have the captain's console here, and the weapons console here, which actually looks really cool, very Space Invader-y. You have some windows and some blocks. Now these blocks are made out of aluminum. And you might think to yourself, well, in StarMade you can make ships out of like lava and cactus and snow. Well, yeah, you can make. Well, let me just go ahead and show you one particular type of. Let's see. No, that's this component. So here's our building screen, by the way. You have components and materials. The component is not dependent on the material. You can make anything out of anything, which is great. So we take our material here, right? And we're going to go ahead and say organic plastic. So you have plastic. You can make things out of plastic. You have minerals. You have stone, strong, radioactive, uranium, precious, diamond, gold, platinum, synth, diamond, other. Here we go. Butter. I have a butter block. And I know you're like, KB, really a butter block? Yep, it's a block of butter. Now, each block type or each material type has something that, and this is where one of two ways that this game really caught my interest, and that it differs from games like StarMade and Minecraft. Each of these blocks has a heat ratio. Basically, it can accept an X number amount of heat before it begins to melt. And that heat can be transferred to blocks sitting next to it. And those blocks will then absorb that heat, and either they will melt or they will do their thing. So this is made out of butter. So if I go to my weapons, which I think is 4, I'm going to set my weapon level really low. And we're going to go ahead and take a shot at this butter. Look at that. Butter's getting hot. Butter's getting hot fast. Now, as it sits there, the butter will then dissipate heat into the objects around it. But if I were to say take a, well, we got to go back to building mode. If I were to take a common block, nope, that's common material, excuse me. If I were to take a common material, aluminum won't work. Where's some copper? Copper. Now, anyone who's put together a computer knows that copper is very good at absorbing heat. Very, 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 very good at absorbing heat. And because of that, we'll go back to our weapon here and we'll shoot the butter. Now, if you notice, see how the butter's not so bright? It's because the copper is absorbing the heat from the butter. Isn't that interesting? Now, if you see these little pixel blocks or voxels, they're, you know, volumetric pixels popping up, you got, oh, well, wow, KB, when you shoot them, they show up little things. Yeah, well, not really. Let's go ahead and go back to building mode, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. Now, that's just going to sit there and be in the way, unfortunately, but we're going to go ahead and get rid of these. And I think so I don't have to screw with the airlock, we're just going to rip it right out. So here is the second of two ways, well, 3 ways? Yeah, there's 3 ways now that I think about it, because there's something directly above our heads I'm trying not to look at. Yeah, it's something special, believe me. Now, here's the second way that this game really excels against other block games. We're just going to call them block games. They're not going to be like Minecraft Clone or Star Made Clone. We're actually just going to call them block games because they're made of blocks. One of the ways that this game very much excels is in the use of voxels. Now, for those of you who don't know, a voxel is, as I said before, no, I need my gun. There you go. Is a volumetric pixel. Now, a volumetric pixel is basically a square block. But unlike a polygon, so say for instance this block is 1 meter by 1 meter square, it is a polygon. It sits in a 3-dimensional grid, whether that grid is actually visible or not. It sits in an X, Y, Z coordinate. Now, if you break that block up into millions of teeny tiny blocks, and each of those teeny tiny blocks, their position is based solely, pardon me, that was a suit refill, and I'm refilling my energy. I think I already told you guys that. If those pixels or voxels are made up of, or if the block is made up of teeny tiny pixel or voxels like you see here, these little pixels, each one of those is dependent not on the 3-dimensional grid of where the block is, it is dependent on where other voxels are around it. So this voxel would be, would know its position based on all the voxels around it. It's a very interesting thing, but that's what differentiates a voxel. I hate when that happens. It's an alpha build, it's a little bit buggy. A voxel is dependent on objects around it, while a polygon isn't. Now, what's cool about this is, so when you play Minecraft and you break a block, it blows up and leaves a little block behind. When you play Star Made, the blocks disappear. Cool. What happens when you play Scrumbleship? The voxels disappear. I just took a laser at full blast, which is that little exclamation point on the left there, and I just shot at my ship, the one I built. And look what I did. I created a hole in my ship. I didn't blow away individual blocks. It blew away individual voxels of those blocks. So anything here that's damaged, anything here that was hit, like this, see this block right here that was hit? This would now be considered damaged if it worked. It wouldn't work anymore, and I know that for a fact because I was testing it before, and I hit this by like 2 pixels, and it stopped working, which is why I had to put this one in here. By the way, this one's made out of aluminum. This one's made out of cherry wood, just so you know. That's why it's pink. Now, the other thing about this is I just shot this, and if you notice I hit the corner and it blew that gigantic crater in there. Different materials will accept explosives differently. So let's say, for instance, we shoot that voxel, or the voxel, that block right there. Now, if you notice, it basically just took out the whole corner of the ship. Boom. Because all it hit was aluminum. Now, we have a bed here, which I think is made out of iron. We'll go ahead and take a shot at that. Whoa! Very voxely. We'll let those dissipate. Now look at the difference. Blew a gigantic hole in the side of the ship, blew a crater in the floor, and a teeny tiny hole in the side of the ship. because of the material it had to pass through to make the hole. So these are, by the way, these are oxygen generating devices. Once again, not implemented, just look really cool. Take a shot at that. Those are also made out of aluminum, I believe, and because of that, blows a hole basically almost clean through the ship. Now, these right here I put up here to demonstrate different materials. These are made out of wood. These are actually made out of balsa wood, of all things. Now, you saw what the iron did, right? We shot through the iron and it blew a hole completely through the floor. Well, let's take a shot at the balsa wood. And there goes Voxels flying off into space. Bye-bye. Then we turn back to our ship and we take a look. Look at that. We hit the balsa wood. It absorbed all the energy and heat from that shot. Didn't even touch the aluminum. Not a scratch, not a burn, not a nothing. Blew the balsa wood clean off. But we shot through an iron bed. And look what it did to our floor. But we shot through a balsa wood plate, not even a full plate, and it protected our aluminum. And that's because the balsa wood was able to absorb the heat from the shot, and it didn't have to pass into the inner block. So energy in this game is dealt with differently depending on materials. Now, this is all made out of copper. These are copper solar sails, and then you have silver solar panels. And we just take a shot at these, and they're not. There you go. You have to do it at an angle for whatever reason, because I think these are like half a block wide or a quarter block wide. So we just took a shot at this and blew a hole clean through it. Even though copper is really good at absorbing heat, and so is silver, we still blew a hole clean through the ship. Now, you guys are like, hey, you know, that's cool, voxels, yeah, that's great. What about it? Well, if you have voxels, if you have basically polygons made up of millions of little blocks, you can do really interesting things with those blocks. Now, I've been trying to avoid looking up because there's something really special up there that I put together after I put this together, and we're going to go take a look at it now. And flashlight on. There it is. Oh my god, KB, what are we looking at? Well, what we're looking at is what you can do with a voxel-based ship. The game, which is now acting really weird on me, once again, alpha build. It's not 100%, it is an alpha build. The game has several different types of living components. Now, I told you that I put balsa wood on the ship down below, and we just shot it, right? Well, what if you were to take and make carapace armor? Or alternatively, if you were to make flesh? Or alternative to that, you were to make bone? Or arteries? Yeah, that's what all this is. Now, ignore these. These are from a previous test, and apparently the game saved them weird. So we're going to go up here to the top of the ship, and we're going to take a shot at our ship here. Well, we're going to take a shot over here, where it's cleaner. So we're going to take a shot right here. Boom! Voxels everywhere. Bloody voxels, too. So we just blew a hole in our ship. Yeah, KB, that's great. Well, I want you guys to watch something. You guys see what's happening? Now ignore the animation on the upper right. That's like whatever this is boiling into space. Actually, I think it's solidified back into a block now. Take a look. It's a little slow. Okay, it's very slow. But you see them? Every once in a while, you'll see a block, like a little voxel appear. The ship regrows. Yeah, flesh regrows. The armor, the carapace armor, doesn't regrow as quickly as the flesh, but the ship will actually regrow. So if you take a chunk out of the ship, bye-bye, and then you take a look at it, I think it's actually faster to watch the bone and the arteries. But look at that. The ship is actually rebuilding itself, because this is considered flesh or living ship. So now, if you build a ship, you're not just building it out of blocks, you're building it out of voxels. And if you get into a gunfight with another ship and he blows holes in your ship, but your ship is a living ship, like a tree or just, you know, a reaper or something like that. This is an artery, by the way. An artery is like a pipe. Well, it is a pipe. An artery is a pipe, but it's a living pipe versus what you get in a metal ship down there, which is a, metal pipe. And if you notice, the voxels also adhere to the laws of physics, so when they hit something, they stop. So yeah, the ship actually regrows. Check it out. We just had a hole right through this, right? And now the hole's gone, because the ship is actually rebuilding itself. Totally awesome. You can do it with the bone, you can do it with the arteries, you can blow a hole in an artery, blow like the end off an artery, turn it into space dust. Actually, that probably won't regrow. But if you were to like blow a hole in the artery, it eventually regrows. Totally awesome stuff. I think this is the greatest thing ever, personally. This is expanding far beyond the let's break blocks type gaming. Pardon me, I was hitting my headset there. It it has the potential to open up a very interesting style of gameplay. And if you've noticed, I've been shooting all these voxels, I've been hitting all this stuff, and apart from a glitch or a lag spike every once in a while, the game is extremely stable. I haven't actually gone under 30 frames per minute, 30 frames, yeah, 30 frames per minute, 30 frames per second, because the game is actually calculates everything very well. Heat dissipation or heat transfer is calculated on a block by block basis, so if this block has heat, it only cares about blocks around it. All other blocks are ignored until heat is added. Voxels themselves aren't calculated, I don't believe, unless they're moving. Now, if you notice, we shot this from way down, way up there, and although it looked like we did a lot of damage, we barely even got through the outer hull. We'd probably do the same thing going that way if we took a shot at it. So then we go up and we take a look. Oop. Yep, and we just put a small hole in the bottom, and we hit the armor on the outside. And the armor will regrow, as I believe I said a little bit ago. The armor will regrow, but it will regrow much slower than the flesh will. But this is totally awesome. You can build. Now, my problem with these games, more than anything, is that I'm just not very good at them. I'm not very creative. I'm not very creative when it comes to these types of games. You guys have seen me play other games. I usually build things in order to get places. I don't build things in order to have fun or anything like that. But this game is awesome because it offers you so much. It offers you all these components. Like I said, some of them don't work. There are weapons and things and other breacher, first aid, mine, grinder. I'm not even sure what half this stuff is, honestly, because I really haven't used it. That's a grinder, apparently. I'm not sure what it does. Can we use it? Oh, I think it grinds things up. I think you can put things in it and like choose them up. Probably for building, if it's for anything at all. Heat pump. Heat pumps are awesome. They will pump heat, usually away from something, which is also awesome. Let me take a look at the bottom. Yeah, so you have, apparently, lots of little dials and gears and things. Unknown. Don't know what these are. Probably shouldn't use it just in case it crashes the game, because I don't want to lose my recording. But all sorts of weird stuff. All sorts of fun stuff. Ammo cache, active radar. There's some active radar for you. Can we do anything with it? No, can't activate it. A laser. There's a laser for us if we wanted a laser. Make our ship look cool. Chemical kinetic gun, I guess. Missile shoot. Missile shoot. Cool. What else can we put on there? Weak laser. Ammo cache. What is that? Bullets? So there's some ammo cache for us if we wanted it. So yeah, all sorts of fun stuff. The game right now, as I said, it's alpha funded, and what that means is when you go to Scrumbleship.com, you will be presented with 3 options. The first is a demo. Please, 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 please try the demo. Even Dirksen himself says that the game will not run on all systems. Try the demo. If it doesn't work for you, then assume that the main build isn't going to work either. There's a $12 version. The $12 version is the basic game, what you see here, which is just basically the game plus any future updates. Then there's the $18 version, which gets you the game, a few other items including a soundtrack and access to what's called a bleeding edge exec. And what that means is every time there's a bug fix or a bug update that's released, it's basically a free insta patch. So instead of waiting for a new version to come out, so instead of waiting for, this is 0.22, so instead of waiting for 0.23, you just have the ability to download a quick patch, a hot patch. It's pretty awesome if you're into that kind of thing, if you're really into the game. Personally, I think this game is wonderful. And that means a lot coming from me, considering you guys know for a fact that I don't do Minecraft, and I don't do StarMade, and I really don't do block-based games for many, many reasons. But this game has so much potential to be more than just a block-based building game. When propulsion is added, when power is added, now don't take my word for this, I just got into this like 2 days ago. But when propulsion is added and power is added, you can get into gigantic ship battles. Yeah, gigantic ship battles. Now, wouldn't that be awesome to be able to just fly around in a ship with laser guns and turrets and blowing holes in each other? And I mean blowing these kind of holes in each other, not blowing just blocks off of each other. I mean blowing like someone takes a shot at your ship, blows a hole in your hull, and you're like, oh crap, my hull, and you start leaking air, and then you're like, okay, we can fix that, and you jam something in there, and then you realize they took 3 or 4 chunks out of one of your power relays. Ah crap, now my guns don't work, or my O2 regulator's all screwed up. and you got to fix that. That would be so much more awesome than, oh, that block blew up. Replace, done. So much more awesome than that, I think. It's really cute. It's really fun. I am going to be keeping an eye on this game, absolutely. I suggest that you do too. I also suggest that in order to help it move forward, you donate your hard-earned scratch towards making the game become better, and that is, of course, by buying a copy, $12, $18. So, of course, absolutely try it out for free first using the demo. Um, I think this is a great game. I think that it's going to go a long way. I think that the tech used for it is really great. I think the voxel-based destruction is wonderful. And the addition of the heat transfer between objects is super duper wonderful, because you can use copper plates like these, or copper coils if you'd like, to actually pull heat away from your ship. And you actually have to. Like if you have a power generator, the power generator will generate heat. And then you have to pull the heat away from the generator and pump it outside the ship. Now, like I said, I don't know how much of that is actually implemented in the game right now. The website says that a lot of it's not implemented, and I haven't taken the time to actually see what's implemented or get things like power units, like power cables to work. But absolutely check out Dirkson's website, Dirkson's website, of course, Scrumbleship.com. Absolutely check out the tech demos and everything else on Dirkson's YouTube page. Follow him on Twitter. He gives constant updates. Also, .22 was just recently, like in the last couple of days, released, and it offers multiplayer. So you don't have to be sitting there going, oh, but it's so lonely, KB. No. It just added multiplayer. Dirksen said he doesn't know how many people can fit on a server because he hasn't had a load limit yet that has, basically crashed the game due to too many people on board. I am not playing multiplayer because, it's really late my time and I'm not sure if it's available or on right now. But, let's get rid of those blocks. See, so I can get rid of the blocks. And I can put some stuff back. So let's put what? Let's go ahead and just put a plate down, a block down. We'll make it we'll go ahead and make it a plastic block. We have to replace it with plastic blocks because we don't have enough money for real blocks anymore. We have to use plastic blocks. There we go, some big green plastic blocks. Yay, we're not leaking air anymore. Boom, done. Nice patch job. So yeah, check it out. Check out the demo. Check out the full game. Buy the full game, absolutely. Pay whichever one you want, $12, $18. I think it's wonderful. I think it's absolutely worth it. I honestly think you guys should really check this out, especially if you're a fan of Minecraft, if you're a fan of StarMade, absolutely, because you can't go wrong with a game like this, which gives you what they do. Well, maybe not as much as StarMade, if only because StarMade is more complete. But it gives you what those games give you, plus the potential at least for so much more. So much more. And that cannot be scoffed at. You cannot say that that's not good enough. But as I said, I will be keeping an eye out on this game. I will be checking it out. I will be keeping updates on it. When an update comes out that I think is significant, I may even do more videos for it. I know you guys will probably want me to do a Let's Play of it, but right now all there really is just the building part. And although that is totally awesome and totally fun, and you can build some pretty epic and pretty big ships, it's not really worth Let's Play time. But I do think this game is really worth keeping track of, so I will be kind of keeping you guys up to date on it when something super awesome comes out, or if I figure out that there's super awesome stuff in the game right now that I just haven't been able to use. So, for now though, once again, I would like to thank you all for joining me for Kilobyte Short on this bargain bin of Scrumbleship, which is available at Scrumbleship.com. And I hope to see you guys in the future playing this game. And I will see you next video.